Have you been thinking about adopting a Maine Coon cat? If so, you have probably seen the photos, the giant fluffy paws, the majestic lion-like appearance, and those incredible personalities that seem almost too good to be true. But before you fall completely in love, there are a few things you need to know. Because while Maine Coons are often called the gentle giants of the cat world, they are definitely not the perfect cat for everyone. In fact, many people adopt a Maine Coon without fully understanding what life with one is really like. They see the beauty, but they never hear about the challenges, the extra expenses, the endless grooming, or the surprising habits that can catch even experienced cat owners completely off guard. Today, we are revealing 13 reasons why you might never want to adopt a Maine Coon cat. Some of these reasons are funny, some are frustrating, and a few might make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this famous breed. Before we begin, comment yes if you still dream of owning a Maine Coon, or comment no if you are already having second thoughts. And if you love learning the truth about cats, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because reason number 13 is the one that surprises new owners the most, and it completely changes the way people see this breed. Stay with us until the end. Let's begin. Number 1. They become absolutely huge. Most people know Maine Coons are large cats. What they do not realize is just how large they can become. A fully grown Maine Coon can weigh more than some small dogs. Many first-time owners are shocked when their tiny kitten transforms into a furry giant stretching across the entire couch. Suddenly, that cat bed looks too small, that scratching post seems inadequate, and your lap becomes prime real estate occupied by a creature that thinks it still weighs as much as it did as a kitten. If you are looking for a small cat that fits neatly into any space, a Maine Coon may have other plans, and their size leads directly to the next challenge. Number 2. They eat more than most cats. Big cats need big meals. That adorable Maine Coon kitten eventually develops an appetite that surprises many owners. Food disappears faster, treats vanish quicker, and monthly pet expenses often rise significantly. Many people budget for an average cat, then discover that a Maine Coon's grocery bill is anything but average. The larger the cat, the more fuel they need, and food is only the beginning of the expenses. Number 3. Their grooming never ends. That magnificent coat is one of the reasons people fall in love with Maine Coons. Unfortunately, that same coat requires serious maintenance. Without regular brushing, tangles and mats can develop quickly, especially around the legs, chest, and belly. Some cats tolerate grooming beautifully. Others treat every brushing session like a personal betrayal. Miss a few grooming sessions, and you may find yourself facing knots that seem impossible to remove. But even if you stay on top of grooming, there is another problem you cannot completely avoid. Number 4. Hair will be everywhere. And when we say everywhere, we mean everywhere. On your clothes, on your furniture, on your carpet, on your blankets. Sometimes, even in places that seem physically impossible. You may leave home looking perfectly presentable, only to discover later that your black shirt is now covered in a layer of Maine Coon glitter. That is what many owners jokingly call cat hair. If you love a spotless home, this breed may test your patience every single day. And the next challenge is something many people never think about before adopting. Number 5. They need more space than you think. A Maine Coon is not just a larger cat, it is a larger everything. They need bigger beds, bigger cat trees, bigger shelves, and more room to move around comfortably. Many owners discover that their standard cat furniture was designed for average-sized cats, not giant fluffy athletes. A cramped environment can leave these cats feeling frustrated and bored. They enjoy climbing, exploring, and observing the world from above. Which brings us to another issue. Number 6. They can be surprisingly demanding. Many people assume cats are independent. Maine Coons often disagree. These cats love being involved in everything. They follow owners from room to room, supervise household chores, and appear whenever something interesting is happening. Some owners jokingly describe them as furry managers overseeing daily operations. If you go to the bathroom, they may come too. If you work from home, they may insist on helping. Whether you ask for help or not, their constant desire for companionship can be charming. But it can also be exhausting for people expecting a more independent pet. And that leads to another challenge. Number 7. They get bored easily. Maine Coons are highly intelligent. Unfortunately, intelligence often comes with curiosity, and curiosity can create trouble. A bored Maine Coon may investigate cabinets, open doors, knock objects off shelves, or invent games that humans do not appreciate. These cats thrive when they have mental stimulation, interactive toys, puzzle feeders, and regular play sessions help keep their minds occupied. Without enough enrichment, they can become creative in all the wrong ways. And speaking of potential problems, the next one can affect your wallet. Number 8. Vet bills can be expensive. Like many purebred animals, Maine Coons can be prone to certain health conditions. Regular checkups, preventive care, and occasional treatments can add up over time. Many owners focus on adoption costs, but the long-term financial commitment is often much greater. Responsible ownership means being prepared for unexpected medical expenses, because when you love your cat, you want to provide the best care possible. And there is another challenge that many first-time owners quickly discover. Number 9. They live on their own schedule. Maine Coons are intelligent, confident, and occasionally stubborn. They understand routines remarkably well, but that does not mean they always cooperate. Sometimes they decide breakfast should arrive earlier. Sometimes they choose a different sleeping arrangement than the one you carefully prepared. And sometimes they simply ignore your plans entirely. A Maine Coon often behaves less like a pet, and more like a roommate with strong opinions. Yet despite this stubborn streak, many owners find themselves laughing more than complaining. But wait until you hear the next reason. Number 10. They often act like dogs. At first this sounds wonderful, and in many ways it is. Maine Coons frequently greet owners at the door, follow them around the house, and even enjoy games like fetch. The problem is that people expecting a traditional cat sometimes feel overwhelmed. Instead of a quiet observer, they get a highly social companion who wants to participate in daily life. Many Maine Coons crave interaction and attention, which can be surprising for people who specifically chose a cat because they thought it would be less demanding than a dog. And if you think that is unexpected, the next challenge surprises many owners even more. Number 11. They take years to fully mature. Most cats reach adulthood relatively quickly. Maine Coons take their time. A lot of time. They often continue growing and maturing for several years. That means kitten behavior can stick around much longer than expected. The giant cat knocking things over may technically be an adult, but mentally it may still have plenty of kitten energy left. This extended adolescence can be entertaining, but it can also test your patience, especially when your enormous cat suddenly decides to sprint through the house at full speed. And speaking of emotional challenges, the next one may be the hardest of all. Number 12. Saying goodbye hurts more than expected. Maine Coons have a remarkable ability to connect with people. They become family members in the deepest sense of the word. Their affectionate nature, their loyalty, and their constant presence create powerful bonds. Over time, they become woven into daily routines and cherished memories. Many owners say their Maine Coon understood them in a way few animals ever could, which makes every goodbye, whether temporary or permanent, feel especially difficult. And now we come to the final reason, the one that surprises owners more than any other. Number 13. You may never want another breed again. After everything we have discussed, the size, the grooming, the shedding, the expenses, the stubbornness, you might expect the final reason to be another warning. Instead, it is the exact opposite. The biggest problem with adopting a Maine Coon is that they often spoil you forever. Their personalities are unforgettable. Their intelligence is captivating. Their affection feels genuine and deep, and their playful spirit brings endless joy to everyday life. Many owners say that once they have shared their lives with a Maine Coon, every other cat feels different. Not worse, just different. Despite all the challenges, despite the extra work, and despite the occasional chaos, people continue falling in love with this breed again and again, which explains why so many owners who swear they will never get another cat eventually end up bringing home another Maine Coon. So, after hearing all 13 reasons, what do you think? Has your dream of owning a Maine Coon disappeared? Or do you want one even more now? The truth is that Maine Coons are not the perfect cat for everyone. They are bigger, messier, more expensive, and often far more demanding than people expect. But for the right owner, those challenges become part of the experience. Because behind all the shedding, the grooming sessions, and the occasional moments of chaos, is one of the most affectionate and unforgettable companions you could ever have. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you currently own a Maine Coon? Or are you thinking about adopting one someday? Let us know in the comments. And if you already share your home with a Maine Coon, tell us which reason on this list feels the most accurate. Drop your answer in the comments right now. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, because our next video reveals the surprising signs that prove your cat trusts you more than anyone else. Some of those signs are so subtle that most owners miss them completely. Until next time, give your furry giant an extra cuddle. Appreciate every moment you have together. And remember, life with a Maine Coon may not always be easy, but for millions of owners around the world, it is absolutely worth it. I will catch you in the next one.